values. So in modern era, a lot of chaos was happening and is happening as well. However, there are great things were happening and still is happening in modern era. So let's go and we will overview about in modern era how the God, okay, you call that God Allah, or you can call this God as a Christian God in English, we call, you can call this God as a Krishna in Hindu civilization, or you can name this God as something which you believe on your God. Anyway, but how the God uh, is viewing in this modern era, how the language is used as a tool in this era, and more importantly, what is the idea of spirituality in modern era? Because these three things are so important. I I I will not cover each and everything in modern era. We will only consider these three things: God, language, and the spirituality. Okay, these three things we will only need to understand in this class, and I will cover it. Okay, so let's go and we will understand what the that modernity was. Very brief, very short. Okay, because my topic is not to make you aware about what the details of the modern era was or is. Just I want to, like I said, how the God, language, and spirituality is practiced or seen. That is my purpose of my class. Okay, it's but we need to know that what the background or the context of the God, language, and spirituality. What we're going to study. So modern era is the era of invention, discoveries, um, where wheel was discovered, motor cars are discovered, aeroplane uh, will be discovered. And yeah, that's fine. Absolutely. It's 2:30, Gaisha. I got it. I think we will be finishing within next half an hour. So you will be free by then anyway. So you're very welcome. Uh, we have a new person. Her name is Sana. Oh, hello. Hi, Sana. Thank you for joining my class. You're very welcome. And if you have question, uh, you can type or you can unmute your mic and you can speak directly. It's feel free to ask or just attend and participate as well. You're very welcome. So this era also brought a big idea of Renaissance. Renaissance is a revolt which in Europe happened, and they brought enlightenment in Europe and America. Um, Particularly in Europe, it started in Italy, based on Roman civilization, in supported with some of the Islamic Golden Age as well. So that era basically was Renaissance. People were coming out from the church authority. They were starting to limiting the influence of God on that time. And lot of hundreds and hundreds scientists, they were producing scientific literature based on observation, based on experiment, based on imperial investigation, based on scientific discoveries, and in geology, in medical science, from human body to astronomy, uh, from physical laws of gravitation to the atomic model, as well, molecules, compounds. So these are all started to learn because the microscope was invented, and microscope was the biggest breakthrough in the scientific revolution. Um, and that revolution and its application is still going on. Like you and me, we all are uh, attending and watching and listening and talking with each other based on our internet and machines, camera, microphone, and this is all within the scientific revolution. So that's a great tool or invention and discoveries we did, isn't it? But how we need to take it, uh, that is more important question, because uh, too much romance with science, too much romanticizing with modernity have brought a lot of complications and psychological problems to the modern mind as well. So that's why there is a new era was started in 1950. We call it postmodernism, which was against big criticism against science, against rationality, against scientific discoveries, against that positive mind. We think that as well, and anything which were we doing or believe in science, they question in a bigger degree as well in postmodern. I learned and I made a class last Saturday as well on postmodern, which I'm going to upload on my YouTube channel. So if you missed about this postmodern class, that topic on postmodern, you can uh, watch this recording. So that is a little quick overview of modernity. Now, the come to the main topic, that in modern era how God was viewed or is viewed. So traditional values of God were challenged by scientific discoveries, and we know all that. Um, Deism emerged. Deism is emerged. Yeah, and people did not deny that there is no God, but they were denying that God cannot interfere in my life. God cannot interfere in on changing that geographical or atmosphere of this whole planet Earth or the cosmological changes. God cannot do. They were saying that the deism is sort of a God exists and he created everything, but he does not interfere. Okay, I'm talking here God as a he. Obviously, God is not he, but in a limited the he does not mean a gender. I'm talking about just the God in terms of. So the God does not interfere in anywhere, but God did created everything. This is the modern view, and that many people believe that many great scientists, including Einstein, they were a believer on deism. I'm not sure about, but a lot of people they were. Notable figure in modern era: Descartes, Emmanuel Kant, uh, Baruch Spinoza. Uh, they are the very, very prominent figure because they were supporter of modern era as well. Uh, God, because the God was a private belief system in a personal life and in a collective life, and the rise of secularism basically in modern era was so encouraged by all over the world, especially the developed country where the scientific factories and inventions were going on. They said that the religion does not have any place in society, but it's only in a private life. So that is the God view uh, in in modern era. Very it's a very basic view I'm talking about here. Like the Descartes, and because everyone believing on mind thinking and thoughts, not the revelation or sacred language or text which were in the form of Bible or Holy Quran, or other Hindu holy scripture, uh, or any Jews holy scripture were there. They said we don't need to follow them. We need to follow our mind, what we think. So that's why it's a very famous quotation that Descartes said, I think, therefore I am. Uh, means because I'm thinking. therefore I am. So it means if I don't think, I do not exist, right? So it does mean so. He placed the mind and the brain as the foundation and origin of that era, and that people inspired from this quotation, and they blindly believing on mind, and that mind is still going on, and we know that this mind is too much developed, so that it becomes psychological traumas, tragedies, um, stuck in past. There are a lot of this bloody mind has is in making the life curse as well. In addition to a lot of great things as well, but mind is so mature now. But it started actually is notified by Descartes, because um, mind is so important for our existence. We cannot exist without mind. That was a nutshell for this Descartes. So Immanuel Kant also said God is just a moral force, okay? Uh, and we do not need to believe that God is changing me or can do something. We need to be more independent and autonomous. Okay, that Immanuel Kant is saying that. Baruch Spinoza says the pantheistic view of the God as a nature itself. He said everything which we see, we can sense, all we are God. This is all God, and we call it nature. Okay, God is not something which is separate from me. We all are under God. Everything is God. So this is also a philosophical view as a God, which makes the people limited the idea of God in modern era. So that's uh, all we understand, because in our schools and colleges we have been told and emphasized on to believe on these things, isn't it? So uh, this is something which we need to understand about how modernity, in a nutshell, was influencing our current life and also in last 400 years. Because last 400 years is the age of enlightenment, intellectual enlightenment, lot of revolution like Chinese Revolution, French Revolution, American Revolution, Russian revolutions, and the political system across the globe was changed in the last 20th century. And they may have a reflection of scientific era, which they were living or they are still living in, isn't it? In the same context, like I said, in the early, the God is dead. That's a Friedrich Nietzsche said. And what does it mean by that? I will explain it in next Saturday, my next Saturday class.